I'm sorry I'm a bit late with this video. I actually made this a couple of days ago and I was just having a ton of problems with memory storage and it turns out the files didn't convert very well. So I'm having to refilm again, but I actually think it's for the best because I can, when refilming, condense some of the points that I made in the last edit of this a bit more concise and clear. So basically today I'd like to talk about vocal health. I'm not an expert in this field. I'm sure you get really tired of people saying this because obviously YouTube is mostly an amateur platform. However, I do have a decent amount of experience. I use my voice regularly. I'd like to have my career predominantly in my voice. I also have read a huge amount about it and I've got the great advice of Dr. Ginevra Williams, who is a specialist in vocal health and the voice box. So just reflecting on all of that, I thought I could give you 4 ways to help your voice recover following illness, light illness, a strain or excessive use. So obviously, first of all, the best offence is a good defence. I think the best thing you can do in terms of protecting your voice long term is looking into the things that might be causing the problems in the first place. So if you regularly get ill and run down, you might want to look at the causes in terms of environment. Do you spend a lot of time in an air-conditioned space? Are you picking up a lot of bugs? Is your climate changed recently? Are you really, really stressed and run down? Because obviously, therefore, it's easier to pick up bugs. And also things like straining, shouting over people, stage whispering, drinking a lot of alcohol, or being chronically dehydrated, and smoking as well are all things that regularly can wear down your voice. And before you consider any of the 4 tips I'd like to share with you, maybe it's worth examining your lifestyle a little bit and seeing if you can adapt anything to help your vocal health long term. So my first tip is be quiet. Obviously your voice is like any other muscle. The voice box needs a chance to rest and recover. Any sports specialist will tell you that working out an injured muscle before it's fully recovered is just going to prolong the recovery period and cause possible injuries in the future. And just like that, your voice needs a chance to fully heal, rehydrate, and for the muscles to get back into good working order. And then you have to build up your muscle resistance again before you can start thinking about using it in the same capacity. Tip number 2 is hydrate. Drink loads and loads and loads and then a bit more of clear fluids. So we're talking about herbal teas and we're talking about water. It's important to remain hydrated because the salivary glands in your throat are going to thin out the mucus and all that gunk that's clogging up your the back of your mouth, making the stuff you kind of sneeze and cough up. It's going to help everything just kind of clear out a little bit. As many people know, also singing and singing well is a hugely athletic thing to do, and like any athlete, we don't need to rehash the reasons that you need to be hydrated to perform at a high level for a prolonged period of time. Tip number 3 is steaming. Steaming tends to get forgotten in the grand scheme of things, but in reality it's a really effective way of clearing out your throat and reducing some of the pressure and tension on your voice box. Often people think that when they're drinking or sort of things like lemon and honey and liquid that it's soothing their throat. What you drink and what you eat passes down the esophagus, and your vocal folds are in your larynx, which is in your upper airway. So unfortunately liquids never touch that area and don't provide direct contact in that form of relief. But if you steam, the hot steam puts direct relief on your throat. The warmth is really, really soothing. It relaxes the muscles. It stimulates the blood flow around the areas. I find it's the easiest way to directly do something to ease the soreness of my voice, and then I rest it afterwards. Tip number 4 is a bit of an obvious one, but I think everyone gets given this advice at some point and no one takes their own advice, and that's just taking a break. Often if you're run down and you actually have a cold or a flu, that's a sign you're not well. Particularly if you've been overworking yourself and you're stressed and you've got a busy schedule. Minimise what you have in your calendar, try to fit in naps, try and fit in downtime if you work on your feet a lot, staying hydrated again, and getting lots and lots of early nights until you feel 100%. So those are my 4 main tips. Stop talking, stay hydrated, steam your voice, and rest, like full body rest. I've come across a number of other tips to do with certain vocal soothers and lemon and honey and things like that, and from what I've heard from Dr. Ginevra Williams, they're mostly placebo effect, but if anything is going to make you feel better when you feel rubbish, then go ahead. Just be careful with vocal zones and throat soothers. They often contain things like paracetamol, ibuprofen, which numbs your throat and can often trick you into thinking that your throat is healed when it's not. So make sure that when you're taking those, you're not using your voice at the same time. Our bodies are amazing things, and we can recover from all sorts of illnesses and injuries, and a sore throat in the grand scheme of things isn't a big deal, but I think it's in our best interest, particularly if our career depends upon using our voice, that we give it the best chance of recovery. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this video. If you have any other tips that particularly help you in recovering your voice, leave it down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful or you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, bye!